Before I start this video, I'd just like to give a very big thank you to Dan Bowden for making this video possible. I'd like to thank Brad the One and the Little Red Machine Harrison for continuously supporting and watching my videos. So thank you so much, guys. Also like to thank Tex and anybody else who's been watching every single video. You guys are the best. You guys rock the Casbah. Thank you so much. And without further ado, let's get on to the video. What is up, beauties? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you've been having a fantastic day. On today's episode, we'll be pitting three very readily available snow cannons available against each other in Australia. First being the Repco Eclipse snow foam cannon, the second being the Meguiars snow foam cannon, and the third being the Bowden snow cannon. Now what we're looking for is consistency. We're looking for how well it snow foams, price points, value. We're also looking at the construction of each of these snow foam cannons and what the quality is like. Now I'll be testing these with their corresponding snow foams. So without further ado, guys, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Up first, we have the Repco Eclipse Hyper Foam Cannon. Now the one thing I really hate about this cannon is that I have to shake it a lot in order for it to aerate properly and for me to get any decent foam. For such a cheap kit, the Repco Eclipse Hyper Foam kit always seems to surprise me. Slow-mo snow foam porn as expected. Up next is the Meguiars Snow Foaming Cannon with Meguiars Gold Class Car Wash. Now as you can see, the snow foam tends to be a bit more runny, not really that thick at all, and it's just falling off the car quite easily. The dwell time here was so short that it basically just turned to water. There was no real foam left on the car. Last but certainly not least, we have Bowden's Snowblow Cannon with Bowden's Snow Job. Now this is my first time using the Bowden Snowblow Cannon. I had very high expectations, and I believe those expectations were met. Very consistent, very thick foam. This foam dwelled on the car much longer than I expected. It seems to have actually dwelled longer than when shot out of a Repco Eclipse cannon, so I do believe the cannon has made a fair amount of difference. There you go, guys. You've seen all three go head to head. So what did I think? What were the results? Okay, well, it's quite simple. So let's get some context here. I'm using a Karcher K2, which has a very low water flow rate, which means that they're not going to foam up as well as they could with something like, let's say, a Stihl 130 Plus or even something from Kranzel. So I was using a cheaper pressure washer, which of course isn't going to give us the best results. So it has really tested these three snow cannons. So let's just get down to business here. Now Repco is obviously great value for money. The snow foam cannon does require to be shaken up in order for you to get the right amount of foam and things like that. That might just be the compatibility with my Karcher, or that just might be the internal components like the orifice not allowing enough air to go through and not allowing enough foaming action. That being said, the dwell time of that one wasn't too bad considering it is a very cheap product. Now, if you want the Repco Eclipse Snow Foam Cannon and the Hyperwash, Repco do currently offer a combo deal. So for $64.99, you can get both of them. So you get your Snow Foam Cannon with 3 different adapters for your Karcher, your Stihl, and for your Quick Connect. You'll also get 2 liters of the Hyperfoam Wash. That equates to roughly $1.15 per wash because you get 20 washes out of that. Now, of course, the Hyperfoam itself is actually sold separately at $22.99, and the cannon itself is $59.99 separately. So as I said, $1.15 per wash if you buy them separately. Now, as far as what I think of the foam cannon, it seems pretty sturdy. The hose itself is pretty thick inside the bottle, so it doesn't really get as much of that foam going through that hose, so it's not going to get the dregs and the last of it. It's quite top heavy, so it can actually topple over. So if you leave it somewhere, it can topple over. Lots of experience with that, trust me. But the cannon is made by a third party as an entry-level solution. I've actually spoken with Repco Eclipse's engineers about that, and they're quite open that they don't actually make the cannon. It is contracted out to a third party, but they're not the only company. There really aren't many companies that do that anyway, so yeah. Next up is Meguiars. Now, Meguiars is pretty expensive. The one thing I did like about it was that it was very consistent. The foam was quite consistent. Using the standard 1:9 dilution ratio. Even with this dilution and even with this consistency, unfortunately the foam that is produced by this, using the gold class wash that comes with it, very runny, very bad dwell time. Was not happy with it. I think it's quite expensive, the foam cannon itself. Now, when going shopping for a new foam cannon, I actually came across this one on Amazon, just unbranded. They're about 30 bucks. So Meguiars are taking that and they're putting their own branding on it. I'm not sure if it's the same one, I'm not sure if the orifice is the same or if the internal components are the same, but nonetheless, still you could get a similar product off Amazon for $29. It's very discouraging. The adapters are premium brass, however, so that's a big plus. One thing I should have touched on with the Repco one that I'm actually touching on here with the Meguiars ones. Now, I obviously use a Karcher. That adapter is not actually very easy to get in, to slot in, and twist into place. It does jam quite easily in comparison to the official Karcher lances and stuff like that. So that's worth noting. I'm not sure about any other pressure washers. I only know about Karcher. So, but look, yeah, it's pretty. This product is pretty average considering how much you're paying for it. The current price of it is $84.99. Meguiars Gold Class itself retails for $33.99. The snow kit comes with a 16-ounce bottle, which is 473 milliliters. You could get about 5 washes out of that, but even then you still wouldn't get any good foam out of it considering the results we've seen. That being said, the wash price is $1.78 per wash, and I don't think that's a very, very good price considering what we've seen from it. Now, last but not least is Bowden's own snow cannon. Now, I'm not going to lie, this one is expensive. However, I can't stress this enough. The foam consistency was very thick. It was very good. Never had a single problem with it. Now, this was actually my first time using this snow foam cannon in this video, so I was very happy with the results. Very, very happy with it. The bottle has a really low center of gravity because the bottle is so thick and it's short. So it has a low center of gravity, which means that the heavy components on top are less likely to wobble and fall over like the other cannons. So that's really helpful. If you've got it on the ground somewhere, if it's at a slight angle like other ones, it's not just going to fall over like the other ones will, which is really important to me. The internal hose is actually quite floppy and flimsy, so when you're moving your cannon around, it's still going to get the little dregs and everything at the bottom of the cannon, which I think is really important, I think is really great, and it also means it's going to get slightly better snow foam than other adapters and hoses, so I think that's pretty good. One thing I also really like is that Bowdens actually do sell their own separate bottles for happy ending. But if you're like me and you like using a one bucket method, you can just use your snow job, use one for snow job, use one for Nanolicious, then use one for happy ending, and saves you an absolute ton of time. So that one's really good. Now, the cannon itself does have a very premium feel. It's a very, very similar design to the Repco Eclipse bottle. Now, I've noticed that all the grooves and everything like that, even the screw mechanism, it's all very, very similar. It's obviously designed by the same people, and it's obviously been contracted by the same people. However, what Bowdens tend to do with their contracted goods, and I've seen this before, I've spoken with their guys before, in comparing the products that they sell that are, there are similar ones on the market, like their detailing brushes are the same as the ones at Super Cheap Auto. Yes, they're the same design, but of course they get more, more bristles, better adhesives, better handles, things like that. So with this snow foam cannon, there's an absolute stark difference between this one and the Repco one. Now, I can list these differences all day, but basically there's no problems with it. The foaming is just insane. It works really, really well. One thing I do need to touch on as well is the actual Karcher attachment. Now, as I said, the Repco and the Meguiars ones did have that issue where it would jam in, where Bowdens one just slides straight in and locks without any issues, which I find that really helpful, because the very first time I used my Repco Eclipse cannon, I was wondering if it was actually supposed to go in all the way, because it just wouldn't. So that's really good. So this cannon is actually really premium, really good quality. If you're after a really good cannon, you can look at your M22s and stuff like that, but they generally retail about $150 online anyway. So this one comes in at $99 when it's not on sale. Snow Job is $54.99. However, you can buy it in a 5-litre pack. So that's for 2 litres. You can buy it in a 5-litre pack for $99. which brings that price down to $1.98 per wash. Whereas if you're just buying the 2-litre one, it's about $2.75 a wash. So quite expensive. However, you do get a great, nice thick foam, and it does have really good cleaning powers. Now, here's the thing that I didn't test, because you can't really test it on the same car as you're doing the same snow foaming, is dirt removal. Now, Meguiars Gold Class, I've never had much luck with using it for light dirt removal. As far as Repco Eclipse, same thing. But the great thing about both of those snow foams, especially Repco Eclipse, which foams up quite well, is you can lace it with other things like low-level degreasers like Bowden's Orange Agent, for example. So you can actually lace it with other things and give it more cleaning power. Whereas Bowden's Snow Job, and I've got another video on this, and you can see that it works, that will actually clean off a lot of light dirt with ease. So it's a very, very good product. So as far as cleaning goes, I have to give this one to Bowdens. As far as value for money, guys, the Repco Eclipse Snow Foam Cannon, can't go past it. You know, $64.99 for 2 litres of hyper foam and a snow foam cannon. Super simple, and you can use that snow foam cannon for anything. I've been using my Repco Eclipse snow foam cannon for months and months and months and months. I've been using it for wash and waxes, I've been using it for all sorts of different things, and I can't tell you guys enough how great it actually is. It was cheap and it works really well. So if you're after something to just get yourself a snow foam cannon and start foaming, the Repco Eclipse pack, you really can't go past it. It's great value and it works pretty well. However, if you're looking to upgrade to something much better, that just works really, really, really well, no compromises, is designed well, and as I said, it won't topple over like a lot of the other ones, the Bowdens Snowblow Cannon, amazing product. It's my number one cannon. Now, as you guys know, I have 3 different cannons, and I use that for all the snow foam stuff, just the snow foam stuff. You know, for applying like happy ending and stuff like that. I'll even use my Meguiars cannon for happy ending, because you don't really need as much water pressure with that. You don't need much foaming. But as far as the snow foam goes, guys, the Bowden's own one is exceptional. So value for money, entry level, go for Repco. For just a decent one, get your Bowden's own. It's as simple as that, guys. Thanks so much for watching again, guys. I know it's been a bit of a ramble, but I really hope you've enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you like the video. Comment what snow cannon you use, what snow foam you use. Guys, if you see someone, make sure to give them a smile, pay them a compliment, because you never know how much better you can make their day. Keep it right, keep it tight, and I will see ya. Hey, did you like that video? Why don't you click the screen for more? Likes on Facebook and Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Elite.